This evening, two separate fires in Region 3 resulted in devastation and one fatality. Fisherman struck and killed by motorcar on Annandale Access Road. Ministry of Health urges residents to take advantage of cancer prevention efforts. In the region, US jet shoots down Octagonal flying object near Canada border. And internationally, Nigeria elections, female governor candidate runs to break glass ceiling. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. A tragic accident on the Essequibo coast has claimed the life of an 18-year-old motorcyclist. Nylon Gittins of Henrietta Essequibo Coast was involved in a collision with a motor lorry on Sunday, February 13. According to the police report, the accident took place at approximately 11:39 a.m. when the motor lorry, driven by a male resident of Reliance, was proceeding north along the western drive lane at a normal rate of speed, while Nylon was driving his motorcycle at a fast rate of speed in the same direction. As Nylon attempted to overtake the lorry, he pulled back into the western side of the road to avoid an oncoming vehicle and collided with the rear right side portion of the motor lorry. Nylon fell onto the roadway and sustained injuries, including fractured skull and laceration around his body. He was taken to the Saudi Public Hospital and later succumbed to his injuries. The driver of the motor lorry is currently in custody, assisting with the ongoing investigation. Also making headlines today, a fatal incident on the Annandale Access Road on the east coast of Demerara has claimed the life of a 49-year-old fisherman. Ruplal Rukdio was struck and killed by a motor car on Saturday, February 11. According to the police report, the accident took place around 7 p.m. when the motor car, driven by a 22-year-old male from Annandale, was proceeding north along the western side of the Annandale Access Road. The driver of the car reported that he saw a group of individuals sitting on a wooden stand on the western side of the road, and as he passed by, one of the individuals fell onto the roadway and into the path of his car. Rupla Rubio was picked up in an unconscious state and taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The driver of the car was arrested and is assisting with the ongoing investigation. A post-mortem examination was conducted on Rupla Rubio's body, and the cause of death was determined to be multiple crushed injuries to the head. The body has been handed over to the relatives for burial. In other news, the Guyana Fire Service was called into action over the weekend as they worked to contain two separate fires in Region 3. Dale Jarvis has more details.
On Sunday, tragedy struck in the West Coast Demerara neighborhood of Windsor Forest as a fire broke out at Lot 194 7th Street, leaving one dead and destroying a two-story building that was home to a family of four. The building also housed a grocery store and a small church. The fire service was alerted to the fire at approximately 2:16 p.m. and immediately dispatched water tenders to the location. According to authorities, the building was owned by 60-year-old Rajendra Mahabir and occupied by him, his wife, and two sons. Despite the efforts of the firefighting units, the building and its contents were destroyed in the fire, and Mahabir lost his life. The Guyana Fire Service is working closely with the Fire Prevention Department and the police to investigate the cause of the fire. Also on Sunday, the Guyana Fire Service confirmed that the devastating fire at Purika Market Center in East Bank, Essequibo was caused by a welding torch that fell into a storage barn, igniting nearby combustible materials. At approximately 3:14 p.m. on Friday, February 11th, the fire department received an alert about the fire and quickly dispatched water tenders to the location. The fire was eventually extinguished. However, despite the rapid response of the firefighting units, the high winds and clustering of the area fueled the fire, leading to the destruction of the metal frame structure and its contents. The building, which was owned by Neighborhood Democratic Council, was home to several businesses, including a grocery store and a small church. The Guyana Fire Service urges all residents to be vigilant and to report any potential fire hazards immediately. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Stick around when we return. Ministry of Health urges residents to take advantage of the cancer prevention efforts, and government invites bids for bridge maintenance in several regions.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Narain Singh urges Guyanese to take advantage of the Ministry of Health's cancer prevention efforts by utilizing the available services to save lives. After breast cancer, cervical cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in women, while men are mostly affected by prostate cancer. However, other cancers such as stomach, colon, and blood pose a challenge. Dr. Singh stated that the ministry has a three-pronged approach to fighting this disease, which includes increasing HPV vaccination uptake, early screening, and early treatment. However, there is challenge as many are not taking the HPV vaccines, which are now available for girls over 9 years to women up to 45 years of age. In 2023, the ministry will be relaunching the HPV vaccine and incorporating it into the routine vaccination program for school-age children. More VIA centers will be established in different parts of the country, and more persons will be trained to conduct these screenings. The ministry also provides early treatment and care for persons diagnosed with cervical cancer. Acting Director of the Chronic Disease Unit, Dr. Danielle Drepal, urged people to take measures to prevent cancer, such as avoiding tobacco use, staying active, and adopting a healthy diet. Genetics can also play a role in the risk of cancer. Women are urged to get their first pap smear by age 21 and repeat it every 2 to 3 years, while persons are also encouraged to do annual checkups. The Chronic Disease Unit conducts screening for cervical, breast, and other types of cancers. Guyana was ranked 25th worldwide for cervical cancer prevalence, with one of the highest incidence in the region. In other developments, the Ministry of Public Works is inviting bids for rehabilitative and construction works on several bridges in regions 2, 3, 4, and 5. The works are divided into 13 lots, including infrastructural works on the Hope Estate Access Bridge and the Good Hope Bridge Extension. These total $51 million and $77.5 million, respectively. Works are planned for the Bellevue Access Bridge, the Monrepo Pass-Through Bridge, the Enterprise Beirut Access Bridge, and Eliza Mary No. 78 Village, totaling $167.5 million. An estimated $224.5 million is expected to fund works on the Waterloo Bath Bridge, the Blairmont Estate Turn Bridge, No. 5, the Blairmont Estate Turn No. 2, and Bell West. Another $191 million will see works in Glasgow, Parfait, and La Belle Alliance. Bids are also invited to rehabilitate the hinterland coastal airstrips at Paruma and Matthews Ridge, works totaling $998.8 million. The 2023 budget allocated $1.6 billion for the rehabilitation of hinterland airstrips. This allocation will go a long way in improving access to Guyana's ecotourism variety. The Public Works Ministry received an allocation of $158.2 billion out of the $781.9 billion budgeted. Of that sum, $136 billion has been set aside specifically for roads and bridges. Don't go away after the break. U.S. jet shoots down Octagonal flying object near Canada border, and Chile's firefighting efforts continued amid hot weather.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. In south-central Chile, firefighters from as far as 3,000 kilometers away are being deployed to combat the country's worst forest fire in decades. Despite a drop in extreme temperatures, nearly 300 fires remain active and new ones are appearing. Al Jazeera's Lucy Newman reports.
Yet another wildfire out of control. In the Araucanía region, firefighters call for more help, unable to contain this blaze, one of hundreds of active fires that have been spreading throughout south-central Chile since late January. The commander of the firefighting brigade tells his men to evacuate.
The situation here is very complex. The fire is advancing very fast, so we are withdrawing to a safer area while we review another strategy.
This helicopter is trying to douse water on the flames here, but it's barely a drop in the bucket, as you can see. It's just simply not enough to deal with the magnitude of this fire here on this mountain or hill, which the fire goes way over onto the other side. And there are only about a half a dozen firefighters here right now. The smoke is really impossible to breathe here.
Weeks of intense heat and strong winds, compounded by years of drought, are feeding the flames. But that's not all.
The neighbors said they saw 3 people with balaclavas who started the fire back there, and other neighbors say they saw a green car and a pickup truck starting fires. While they tried to put out the fires in one area, they saw how the people in cars lit others all over the place.
Daniela shows us the house where she grew up and where her 80-year-old grandmother lived until Tuesday. The vast majority of the fires have started in forests owned by timber companies who've long been targeted by rebel indigenous Mapuche groups and who carry out what they call acts of sabotage against Chilean companies and farmers. They claim this as their ancestral land, but so far no one has taken responsibility for the fires, which are hurting ordinary residents, many of them also Mapuche.
What hurts most is that this was the last thing left of my deceased grandfather. He built all this with the sweat of his brow.
The loss in property, livestock, and human life is incalculable. At least 30 people have been arrested for negligence or for deliberately lighting these fires. A curfew is also in place from midnight to 5 a.m. But nothing seems to be enough to stop new towers of billowing smoke from emerging. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Galvarino, Chile.
Meanwhile, United States fighter jets have shot down an unidentified object flying near the Canadian border in the Midwest, the Pentagon said. The latest incident since the suspected Chinese surveillance balloon put North America's security forces on high alert. Al Jazeera's Umi Kulsum Sharif reports.
Planes flying over Michigan close to Lake Huron after the 4th high-altitude object was shot down in just 8 days. The Pentagon says it's unprecedented, and beyond its size and altitude, little is known about the latest octagonal object downed by a U.S. jet. Officials say it posed no security threats, but they aren't ruling out anything.
Have you ruled out aliens or extraterrestrials, and if so, why?
I'll let the intel community and the counterintelligence community figure that out. I haven't ruled out anything. At this point, we continue to assess every threat or potential threat unknown that approaches North America with the attempt to identify it.
In January, a giant Chinese balloon drifted for days over American and Canadian airspace before it was shot down earlier this month off the South Carolina coast. U.S. officials called it a surveillance object, but China insisted it was conducting weather research. Since then, 3 unidentified objects have been downed, but only the first has been attributed to Beijing.
It's been publicly reported that the Chinese have had a very robust system of utilizing balloons for surveillance in the sovereign airspace of other countries. Reportedly, the Chinese have violated the airspace of over 40 countries worldwide, utilizing this system of surveillance balloons.
The incidents have further strained ties between Washington and Beijing, with Secretary of State Antony Blinken calling off a visit meant to ease relations. And it's prompted questions about the extent of China's surveillance in the United States. Kulsum Sharif, Al Jazeera.
And internationally, one woman vying for a state governor in Nigeria is raising hopes that voters may elect the first female to that position. Activists say this could mark a turning point for women in a male-dominated society. Al Jazeera's Ahmad Idris reports.
This is a moment female activists in Nigeria have worked for. A woman from a major political party becoming a candidate for governor. And she is a frontrunner. Aisha Binani overcame religious and cultural barriers in the patriarchal society to get here. She says it's been worth the struggle.
It gives women, it gives our daughters, it gives our sisters, our aunties, our mothers the confidence that yes, women can work towards occupying whatever elective position they desired.
Although women make up half of Nigeria's population, they've long been on the fringes, economically and politically.
We know also by virtue of the level of education, particularly in this part of the country, the women have been at the disadvantage compared to men.
But activists say changing attitudes and their strength in numbers could work for them this time.
It's really time for women, and we don't want to miss this opportunity. We don't know when we'll get this opportunity again.
Nigeria's general election later this month is being keenly contested and closely watched.
Women activists across Nigeria are upbeat the election of a female could end decades of the exclusion from that office. If that happens, they say, the presidency could be within reach.
The outcome of the vote won't be known for weeks. But for now, her supporters are celebrating what they have already achieved and say momentum is on their side. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Yola.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. Concludes today's headline news update. Tune in tomorrow, Tuesday at 7 p.m. with our next broadcast. For more news and updates, you can visit our Facebook and YouTube pages. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.